Hello again, everyone. DrEvilGenius here with another narration from Epoch of Disharmony. This time I'll be introducing a well-loved character from the ZRPG. This is the final post from the Battle of Disharmony. Lon Lon Ranch, the third afternoon. Ella Huntley. By all assumptions, the fighting had been brutal. The smell of blood permeated the air. It surrounded her, nearly consumed her being. Ella had no doubt this was the work of Bloody Beth. She stumbled in her blindness through the emptiness of the ranch. Everyone, it seemed, had left. There was not a sound to be heard. The animals were all either dead or too terrified to make known their presence. Well, not everyone had left, at least not in the traditional sense. More frequently than she cared to acknowledge, Ella found herself tripping over corpses. She almost broke down. She was on the verge of crying. Who knew what state her father was in? Who knew what had happened to him and her uncle? The only person she had left was Rhea, and even she was gone now. Going blind had not been the darkest part of her life, not the hardest thing she had had to endure. This was. And yes, Ella's vision remained darker than the deepest night she could ever remember surviving. Even the sun felt cold on her, despite the rain having stopped. But then, in a sudden moment, she felt warmth when she had nearly given up on ever feeling anything again. And despite the utter darkness gripping her eyes, she knew that very close nearby there was a presence of intense light. The stench of strong booze overcame the odor of blood. She was reminded of her father, and tears nearly overpowered her once more. But it also made her think of the duty she had sworn to fulfill in order to protect him. The clinking of armor resounded through the deathly quiet as this newcomer made its way toward her. The shuff of cloth against metal tickled her ears. Then, with a muffled voice, gruff and melancholy but with an inner strength, he spoke to her. "What are you doing in such a desolate wasteland of blood and destruction, young lady? This is no place for someone like you." "Mister," she responded with a despondent sigh, "if you knew the places I'd been, you wouldn't be surprised to find me here." He snorted softly. "Well, to whom, may I ask, am I speaking that has seen such hells as Hyrule has to offer?" "Well," she grumbled, "I've only seen some. The rest I've had to simply experience." He paused for a moment. I'm sorry. You are blind. I should have been more observant and chosen my words." "Hell with it, I don't care." She extended her hand toward the voice. "I'm Ella Huntley." He didn't respond right away, and her hand hung in empty air. It seemed, perhaps, the words had become stuck in his throat. Ella. "Well, so, what's your name then? I've given mine." He cleared his throat, which seemed to dislodge the stuck words. "I'm glad to have met you, Ella Huntley. I'm Jaden Bryseis." Jaden Bryseis. I don't really need to say anything else to wrap up this video.